wearing a hat. You know, like the comedian Q Dube. Now he's taking off his hat and now everyone asks, hey man, what happened to your hat, man?
I think one
That
thing
nigga was rocking these hats for so long, and then now I swear to God, I've
for
seen
me,
him with no hats in so
for
many
me, it's
things now.
it's what I realized, and I told my wife because I noticed a lot of people can't picture me with short hair
Yeah.
that then never met me,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
it's such a
It's
normal
actually
thing,
crazy now.
right?
Like, yeah,
and
no,
then
yeah,
I'm like, you see, the moment I just decide to shabba,
Yeah.
everyone's gonna like, they will never unsee. Like I still see McG with these dreads.
With these dreads, when you imagine him in your head, you don't. That's crazy.
I think whatever you're gonna put on top of your head,
Yeah, man.
especially if you're gonna do something publicly forever.
I think when you shorten, when there's like a huge transition to be more minimalistic. You know what I mean? But anyways,
we blundered, man.
You did not connect the Bluetooth.
Yeah,
but that's cool, man. Anyways, all right. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast that no one knows of, Third Avenue, aka
Tap.
Yo, man, this is your boy Vinny,
and this is Hussein,
the
GOAT.
Yeah. I forgot about this thing, and I was actually watching it back.
Yeah, dude, like, come on, man. Don't be doing that to me, man. That's like the thing now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what we doing now, you know?
That's how we doing, bro.
Yeah, we
keep it like that. So, yo, man, you know, while we holding it and preparing for the Off the Dome segment, which we know we should actually be trying to get into it sooner, you know?
Yeah, no. Yeah. I realize, Hey, man.
But what if people just watch the Off the Dome segment and then leave?
Who cares, man? Shout out to you guys for pulling through and doing the thing. You know, shout out to Sam Kele from South Korea. He's not from South Korea. He's in South Korea. Shout out for him for watching. Special shout out.
Because you know there's no black people in South Korea, bro.
Boy, yeah. By the time of the end of this century, I'm just saying, they're gonna be looking a little bit brown right there.
What do you mean?
Yeah, all of that.
Sorry, man.
No, don't say shit.
That sounded so unnecessary and racist.
Boy, you sounded white right there, fam.
I just felt like, you know, nowadays I feel like we're in an era where we can't give nicknames to any country. Because I'm just saying.
No, you know what it sounds. Let me say it. You know what it sounds like, and now people don't say that anymore. It's like everyone just referring to, like in Mzansi, referring to any Asian person as my China.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
which is racist.
What would I say it is? I'm trying to find a borderline because I don't think someone would say it in a racist way, right? But what I'm saying is it's unfair because if everyone, it's like the feeling of saying, yeah, Mara, you know, when a white person assumes that you know every black language.
Oh yes,
you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Grouping me and just making me just like you're just generalizing me and assuming that it's like, bro,
what happens? But you see, what you're saying is fair. And I also feel like, guys, we need to, you know, I've been thinking about.
But now, you know what? We're gonna know with the Off the Dome segment is gonna be dragged out.
You're gonna make me forget this point.
No. Because, bro, the other time we took like 10 minutes.
Okay, run it out. I'll remember this thing. I have to
while I look for the beat, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another freestyle of Off the Dome. Sitting on your right, if you're left, or however you want to do, we got another number one contender who won the freestyle last week, Vinny, the performer or the rapper in this craze, or whatever you want to call it.
I didn't even know this was a competition.
No, it's not a competition. We're just talking about who doing it. And sitting in your left,
more heat.
And sitting in your left or your right, I mean, this is who says
you can't give yourself?
Who invented the rules? Who invented the rules?
If you're gonna give me an introduction, I feel like it's only fair.
What about the people not looking at me? I could change my voice and they could have thought it was a whole different person. No, but like real, it's audio. It's an audio experience, fam.
All I'm saying is, if you give it a introduction, I feel like it's only fair if I give it a
Okay, cool. Let's go. I'm listening.
We back in it. Streets.
Yeah.
You know it. You got it. You've heard him. He kills it, but he won't admit it. But look, man, this is your boy, the silent killer.
Mm-hmm.
Got the flows everywhere he go. Niggas just saying they staying too slow.
Mm-hmm.
This is your boy. He's the man. What the fuck? What's his name, man? This is Hussein, the man.
The go. What's up? Yo. So, yo, man, we just gonna run it up.
There was way too much energy to give a nigga an
yo, damn, yeah, and you know, guys, it could go either way, you know. Every single sports team has its bad game. We have a bad game, man. You know, the job is not done, and we just go perform.
Even Jordan, you know,
had
a single-digit game.
You know what I'm saying? So. Let's get a single.
The nigga was cut from his high school team.
You know? I love you much too much.
Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another episode of Third Avenue, reporting live in Melville. This is your man, Hussein the man.
Return it.
Are you ready for this, Marshall?
Said I kick it flow. I just wanna know how I'm about to do this though. Now I'm trying to think off the dome, but I'm trying to make it home. Hey man, no, listen up. I had enough. Everybody says these streets are motherfucking tough. That's why I sleep in my bed, never get out to my head. Everybody says, oh my god, he's looking nervous, he's turning so red.
Yeah, 1950s.
Yeah.
We got everything. Got it 50.
Yeah.
Kicking doors, shooting everybody down, yo. Picky blinders, can't you see me? I'm coming, though. What you needing from me, Thomas Shelby? I'm smoking cigarettes on every scene, you got me? How you know something's going wrong when a nigga turns a light off? What you know, it's going down on fire.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this man is on fire.
They told him?
Literal sense, but maybe he was charged for arson, but we do not know. Allegedly, he's been running these streets and going crazy with these activities of never saying.
Say, man, walking up in a suit and tie. You know I keep it very classy, baby, why? Let me take you out, maybe I could take you to the Oprah. Got this Rolls Royce dressed up, no, it's a classic. It's a coupe, never knew how you could do. Maybe I should take you out, maybe I am a gentleman. Hey,
Yo, valet, take keys, drive it, everything is going on. She's so pleased, she see me smile. Watch your Rolex, you got it going on. What, nigga, TikTok running out of time. What, I got money right now, it's split up with you. It's eternity, 5 stars, everything is going big, everything large. You gon' wanna take me out? Yeah, baby, this is nothing but martinis and everything you got from me. I got so silly that I got some bars. You told him that he should never take his life for granted again. He did rip this whole off the dome segment apart. One lady came by and said, "This man got bars."
Oh my god, that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun, man.
I don't know how it sounds, but that was super fun.
I don't care even how it sounds.
That was super fun.
I feel like it's so much better when there's a theme to the beat.
I think the sample.
Yeah,
the sample gave us like, okay, you see it, and then you could also see it.
Man.
That was fire.
The niggas always say they wish they were born in the 1950s.
Nigga, no. I know we're romanticizing everything. It's like, you know, what I hate about people, right, is that when we look at pictures and we look at moments, it's a picture of a moment and not what everyday life is.
And first of all, it's not black and white. Y'all niggas just saw when you,
I know. I was thinking the whole black and white.
Think of the 1950s and think about the people.
No, as we were rapping, everything I was picturing, it was just black and white.
Which is that's so wild, bro.
So hey yo, man, it was super fun, man.
Yeah, man, that was cool.
But how are you doing, man?
Yo, man, I'm good, man. I'm still trying to remember the point that I was trying to cook.
We were talking about the bad generalization of calling everyone in Asia Machine. Like it was just, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, because like I was thinking about this. Like sometimes, there's like, I feel like sometimes as black people we need to admit that we can understand where racism comes from at times.
Yeah.
There's that one video online of this white man who says, black people are a problem in this country, man. Come on. You could... And I know this is going to sound controversial, but when he said it, you could hear it wasn't from a point of malice. Like, I'm just trying to be racist. It was just that thing of, man, like, we can tiptoe around this.
But for me, when you made me, I remember I was trying to think about what word I was thinking of.
Yeah.
It's called ignorance, not racism.
Ignorance.
Yes. Because now, remember, just as some white people want to group every black person into the thing, you don't want to learn the person's culture. So you're ignorant. You just keep on like shoving this.
Okay, let me put you with this dilemma.
Yeah.
You see, there was a situation where we were discussing, amongst the blokes in Span, and the white oaks, might I say, some of the employees, they arm themselves. Some niggas will have a pocket knife.
Yeah,
No, just like a simple thing like a pocket knife.
They'll have a plastic knife. I don't know.
A plastic knife over there.
I don't know. Like I just realized. Sorry, I'm just gonna go off topic. Hey, shout out guys! Just wanted to let you know we are live on Instagram at Third Avenue Podcast and TikTok. And guys, please click that subscribe button and like. And maybe this is why maybe YouTube is waiting for us to say that. But the reason why I was saying pocket knife, plastic and whatever, is because I realized there are some videos that I post on TikTok of clips. They'll just drive traffics, and when they don't, they you telling me, fam, not even one person on your platform saw that video. So now I'm thinking to myself, what words can we say?
What words can
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yes, you're saying the people at work,
so like, okay,
they arm themselves.
So
some
like,
of them,
the white guys will carry shit like knives, right? And I won't lie to you, as black people, we don't carry such stuff. But one of the blokes mentioned that, you see how cool they are with these other niggas being nice. If it had to be, because they were talking about like, bro, this nigga brought this knife is this big, nigga. What the fuck you do with a knife this big? You know what I'm saying?
You could be eating an apple. Look, apples are the hardest.
Then that nigga said, but let's be honest. If it had to be a black guy bringing a knife into the office, might be a situation.
I think,
and then I said, okay, I was like, cool. You see, I know where you're going with this, right?
Wait.
But I'm saying to you, imagine, you see, I got earrings. Look, I'm black. So I've seen.
But I have a question for you.
And nigga like that,
I think once you have, there's a couple of. I'm not judging your swag. It's your swag.
Yeah.
What the farmer swag, wapara old khaki, and all that stuff.
My point is, they won't seem much as a threat.
You won't. But you're saying braid niggas.
I'm saying like now.
Me and you.
Now you split this. I have a tattoo here. One born.
Everything just looks
then I say bucket head. I'm the only nigga in the boardroom who should be a bucket head. Obviously now niggas when they see that I have no copy, when they these niggas who have knives. Niggas who have knives, they always find
bro, let me not lie to you.
Knives always find any opportunities just to show you they have a knife. You're like, oh bro, I think I have a piece of string here. So, You need any help, man?
Shout out, man. That the parking guard, man, taking care of his eyes, man. That nigga got glasses on.
The nigga got glasses on.
Yeah, man. He wants to help you in his parking cars are right. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I get what you're saying with the racial, just grouping people. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm just saying.
Let me say this, guys, and this is
just saying.
No.
How many times?
Okay, whoever listen.
Sorry, I'm saying black people. Honestly, sometimes we sit and we sound so racist. Like, I can imagine the things coming out of my mouth, coming out of another white man.
Yeah, but remember, I guess they say you can't be racist, right?
If you're black.
Yeah, but now I want to say this to any fellow South African, right?
Yeah.
Hey, if I walked past your car and you locked the doors, I am not offended. Because I'm gonna be real.
I would have done the same thing.
Even harder. You just
I'll even make sure.
You even check.
First of all, I don't even know my car's locked. Okay. But just because I saw some niggas, I'm locking this thing again.
And you do that, guys.
Bruh.
Your crime is out of crazy, right? So like, always keep your phone close. We go on like these theories. Oh, you think I won't? Nigga, there was a nigga who was caught with hundreds of iPhones. Guys, listen. Let's even talk about this just to even show why sometimes, hey man, I get it's hurtful. Yeah. Bro, there was a whole cartel of guys stealing iPhones in Headfield when you used to go to university. Let me explain to you, just for a phone, they even had a getaway driver. Go in, you left your phone there on the table, you're out there, maybe at Square.
It's everywhere though.
Sometimes, they're at Nando's. Nigga, they grab your phone and the niggas jump into a whip.
You know where I knew these niggas were taking this thing to another level?
Yeah.
There was one brother. Usually they'll do it in spaces where they can make a really quick getaway. But this brother was so brazen. He was inside Nando's. Inside the restaurant.
Yeah.
This nigga had to make turns out of this thing. He steal this phone. And I'm like, bro. And first of all, I'm not gonna lie to you. The nigga who took the phone was not that small. He was like a buff Niger guy. So I'm like, yo, man.
Oh, yeah, how did you know? Wait, how did you know he was?
No, because you saw him running out.
No, how did you know?
What?
It was Niger. That's what you said.
It's not racist. He looked Nigerian.
Okay, he was big.
No, he looked Nigerian. I would say
he was stereotyping.
Nah, he just gave the Nigerian vibes. Everyone knows. African vibes, Ghanaian.
Okay, anyway, yes, carry on.
Basically, I'm just saying, like, that is such, like, the amount of effort. Like, a lot could have went wrong there, bro. I wouldn't put my life at risk just to steal a phone. Because what if just before he grabbed the phone on that desk, the waiter bumps into him? That shit.
Bro, when you're running out, you are running out, man.
And then niggas, my thing was, how did them niggas know that he was there? Like the niggas, they were perfect timing.
Man,
that is insane.
It's never been a perfect time. Everyone is always, even here in Melville, niggas just start breaking the windows and taking the phones.
Trying to take the phones and shit, man.
You know what I'm saying? Wait, you reminded me. Remember there was that incident where an anchor got robbed on live television in South Africa?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, man, let me fact check this. Guys, hey,
but honestly, it's not funny, brother. When you watch that, you just think, man, niggas are just savages, man. Like, you just savages, bro. Like, you bro, a place that's crime-ridden is annoying, man. You can't even have nice things, bro. And then you say why niggas in the hood always move out of the hood. Why wouldn't you move out of the hood?
Cause I just wanna, I remember, yes, yeah. They just came there, cause I remember the clip. It looked unreal, like.
Bro, that's crazy, bro.
So like, when going back to what the profile.
What does CCTV mean? That's the thing I always wondered. They always see, like, we always see these guys' faces, and it adds up to fuck all, man.
But the thing is, it I remember the police, not that I'm describing, but you must remember, the police are any police, like with a place where there's a whole lot of, let's say, big population, a lot of crime, the way they're going to prioritize the level of the crime, like, you think the police
You see, we were talking, you see when you describe this, you know, I'm a nigga who just always tries to be understanding. Doesn't mean I'm understanding, but I can always come to you and say, you know, like, think about being a cop in this country.
Yeah.
First of all, we are outnumbered. They are outnumbered. We have like 100,000 cops or something. I'm not even sure how many cops we have, right? We are outnumbered. And then there's millions of us, right? Like you mentioned. You're in Alexandra. We all know it's high crime going on there. Right? I'm the one patrol guy who goes there. I ain't trying to be what's this thing? Superhero, Superman, Detective Kunutu, trying to track down the drug units. Nigga, relax. You know which niggas who do the most? And I'm gonna be honest. You know why they do the most? I just feel like they try hard action stars. They couldn't qualify by doing the
You're about to say security companies.
I'm telling you, bruh. Let me tell you, bruh. I'm telling you, Detective Kunutu. First of all, I'm telling you, you know you're getting a basic salary, right?
Yeah.
The same neighborhood you're busy patrolling is the same neighborhood you probably even stay in. You don't even have that much money. Because, man, some of these, these white guys, these ones tell their uncle. Can I be honest with you, bro?
Yeah.
I can tell you now, right? Like, I feel that sympathy that white people do struggle in this country. Fair enough, right? But I feel like there's a moment where I've realized that people really don't understand what white privilege is. White people themselves don't understand what white privilege is. Especially in a country like South Africa.
But let's even not go too far. Remember we were talking about generalizing people into being thieves.
Yes.
Going back to it, when you see a white person, that's not the first thought.
You'll never think
that's how we're even conditioned. Not that I'm like saying, do you understand what I'm saying?
And even when you see that's one of those privilege. Ones, you even think you can beat him up.
Of course.
You ain't even scared. You seen your place. You see life. You ain't gonna let a white man.
But yeah, you're right in the sense of that. You're right that a lot of people, the privilege of just being white.
Yeah, they don't.
I don't think they get it.
They even get it when you're poor, because when they see you as a white man who just doesn't look nice. You ever seen a white hobo? That's how doesn't be driving,
bro. Look, and then they'll always do that face.
And you're like, nigga, what happened to you, man? You know the first thing I'm thinking, yo, niggas were winning. And look at you, nigga.
It's so.
You know what's the worst? You know he's a disgrace amongst the other white people. The other white people are going.
Because I think for a lot of people, they don't understand that it's very different in South Africa. It's not like in America where seeing homeless white people and stuff. Yeah. Because obviously they are larger population. Here for us is like, nah, most of them, let me say, the perception of them is that they're doing well, right? And they're not going to be as abundantly as an African struggling on the streets. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but when you see it, because this is last resort.
Yeah, no, it's
like,
you know that this nigga had options.
Like, cause
sometimes you feel like, nah, nigga, you had
you. I just want you to say, man, please, man, watch King of the Hill. Such a beautiful thing, but it talks about.
Damn, man, I feel like I've been coughing so much in this pod. But yeah,
make a nigga sick again.
Yeah, but wait, I feel like I never finished my point, yo. I don't want to end it where niggas just think I'm saying some racist shit. But I was just basically saying that
he has a white wife. He's not. This is how you escape.
Yes, I even said it.
That is the whitest thing.
Number one, I can't be racist.
The whitest thing. That's the whitest thing.
That's all.
Yeah, that's like
black people say.
Imagine if your wife now. My kids are black. It's like, whoa, lady. We're not saying that you don't, but in this instant, you're wrong. But yeah, finish your point. Sorry.
So basically, what I'm saying is, so when in essence, when you come to realize that, all negative things, come to becoming towards black people. And you don't even understand, because the amount of negative things that are happening in general, you'll also have the same lens, same stereotypes, same thing. But when a white person does it, like now you saying, you know what, man, this nigga locks. But don't lie. When the nigga does it, you're like, what the fuck?
You shit.
What the fuck you think?
Driver Toyota board.
Bro, you lose your mind.
Thinking nigga don't want to like iPhone.
You find a nigga. You're Muslim. You find you're Muslim, right? When you go to Muslims, and the thing is, again, this is what we were talking about. Because the majority, and I'm going to say this, because the majority of the times when the Indian Muslims interact with black Muslims, it's either a few things. It's either they are from a foreign country, meaning when they're foreign nationals, they don't have that many opportunities. So they're not necessarily people of status. You understand? And then they don't necessarily interact with other black individuals. Because not many black South Africans are actually Muslims. You know what I'm saying? So then they'll always... Bro, I feel like people don't understand. Indian people when they see black people, they really see a lot of poverty. Like they grew up with so many... Like, especially with the foreign nationals and everything, I can see how their perception could be easily
it's like, to
think that
the biggest question was like, shit, when did you convert?
Yeah, you could never be born.
And it's like, you
can't even be South African. That's what I'm saying.
And I think
it's even uncommon amongst anyone.
Wouldn't you say, hey man, do we want to expose the realities of being a black South African Muslim?
Nah, man, they got my comedy for that. But that's basically what I'm saying, is that because you have this perception of people, then it's easy for that person, when they see another person, to think whatever they want to think. But that's where, like, I'm basically just saying, like, we are all subject to having that.
I think at the end of the day, is like,
these people. We do it so easily in cultures.
For me,
like, I find it crazy
for
that
me,
it's fun for someone to, like, it's insane. Like, isn't it racist as well?
No, like, we do it.
The stereotypes of like. Just
I always say this, and not because I won't lie. I'm one of
not all vendor men have it, But and the thing is, as a vendor guy,
look in the comments for those who don't know.
Which guy? Like, think about it. This is the best stereotype. Who's gonna deny that? Come on, niggas. Like, you know what? That's offensive.
We had it counted, because the biggest one was like, you guys, you guys are gonna come in dark complexion, right?
Yeah.
And then I think maybe even in the walls they were like, look at these boys.
Yeah.
Can't even fight like men. Then God said, you know what? We're gonna give him packing, and then we're gonna give him packing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you just see us. I wonder.
But then
no.
In common let me say liberal talk. Or even just not social media talk, that is constituted as what?
No,
racist
the thing is,
and offensive.
And the thing is, let me say this.
You say now Jews lack money. They right now, they're probably marrying us right now as we talk.
So wait, bro, I told you about the shadow ban.
No, that's what I'm saying. But you hear what I'm making an example. I'm making a point. I'm not just trying to sound controversial. But what I'm saying is, it's easy for you to say that.
For me, it's like, I think. And I'm like, I think. Let me say this. I think we need to also come at a time where we should never ever.
By the way, I don't. Hey man, I see you. What?
Just stop talking.
I've seen what they've done.
You're doing.
I've seen what they've done to other niggas. I just wish my wife was Jewish. I would say, nah, my wife is Jewish. And I don't, unfortunately. But one of my friends.
I said, I was getting back to the point of, like, let's not normalize setting values using online perception and pop culture. Your values, let me say this. Whatever you,
but I feel like now it's better than
now it's slightly milder.
Now we can see this.
No. So what I'm saying is, now it's milder because we have bigger fish to fry. There's a whole lot of things to deal with in the world, right? And what I'm saying is, going back to my point, is that we should not normalize that. Like I said, I forgot. There's this lady who featured. I'm gonna get her name now, and I remember saying it to you. She's an author. She's a Nigerian author, and she said, because she got to America. Shout out, check out Trevor Noah's podcast. You know, and she was explaining how the American society has changed, not necessarily as politics, but how over time they became, it's like a black and white. When I mean black and white, I don't mean color. It's like, it's either this or that, nothing else.
Yeah.
And then if I say I pick that and you pick this, we cannot coincide. Whereas even in South Africa, I always use it like, boy, everyone in the house will have a different political party, different soccer team, everyone it is. When it comes to shit talking, sorry.
But I think
when we know what I'm saying, when it comes to it, and then once it's done, it's done. You're still my brother, you are still my thing, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, I don't know, I'm not in the USA, but it seems as if, as we're looking online, you guys, if it seems like, if another guy says I'm a Republican and another one says I'm a Democrat, y'all are not homies. Literally. Like, think about it. That is so messed up. You're saying, because remember, there's never gonna be a one size fits all when you're voting for a political party or anything. There's something that maybe you see, at least maybe they'll benefit me on this depending on where you are in your life, right?
Yeah.
It's never about that they're gonna fit the entire thing, right?
Yeah.
But now you're gonna say to me that, oh dog, I'm a Democrat. I'm saying now in American terms, right? Or let me say, you're ANC, I'm DA, we're not homies. We can't even talk.
I don't think that's a possibility in South Africa.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We should not normalize setting values on that. Especially because it's online, it shouldn't be mattered. Yes, it's like, it's what is it? And what they always say, let's agree to disagree. When did it become a whole discourse that now?
But I feel like also you this is the thing that I, growing up, I always felt like I challenged.
Yeah.
I feel like for you to generally be a better human being, for you to understand things, I feel like you need to hang out with people who are not like you more often. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I'll be thinking about my friends and I'll be like, bro, like for example, me and Mbali, we did, bro. I still today we have the conversation. Nigga, I don't even know how we friends, how we ended up being friends. Because what her, her beliefs and her understanding of certain things, I generally just disagree with. You know what I mean?
But it's
and she knows I disagree with it. But it's okay.
I like you, this is the way you are.
But and I feel like it makes who you are. If you don't want you to come tell me that no, all of a sudden you're not that person, I'll be like, oh.
Oh yeah,
that's weird.
It's Chimanda Ngozi Adichie. She's an author. Maybe you should read her books. Maybe you would like them. I just wanted to do it. But yeah, I get you. You guys can have the most disagreements, but you're still homies. But when she said that, it made so much sense for me when she said it on the pod, because it set a lot of things for me to also understand my identity as a South African when I'm consuming these things.
Protest.
Yeah, no, but that thing is, and it's like let me say this, online has a big voice, but it's a minority voice of what goes on in real life. Do you understand what I'm saying? Whatever thing we're doing online and the online perception of being perfect, the thing is, especially now because everything is documented, even if you don't even post, there will always be something. Even on this podcast, there will be something will be referenced. And maybe at the time you were maybe ignorant because you were a human being. You're not allowed to be ignorant. You're not allowed to. Let me say this. You're not allowed to be a racist and not become not a racist. You're not allowed to say, you know what? I like my black people. But I'm saying is, because what I'm saying is, there are this is what I'm saying. I'm saying there are bigger people who genuinely, yes, deserve to go to jail, die, and all these other people, than people who maybe say things out of ignorant and racist things, who can maybe one day down the line understand, when you're sorry for something. But now what you're saying is, my question I'm asking you, wouldn't you say that we're just enabling these people to even be more hateful? Like, what's the point?
No, we are. But I feel like we're all reaching a point where it's kind of like, for example, think about this thing of artists getting lawsuits of sexual assault, right?
Nah, them niggas just weird.
No. Like, no. There's a point where you can do things to a point where it's a reasonable amount, where we can be like, okay. But now when it's every nigga coming and then every nigga's putting on money and everything, now niggas are beginning to change the idea. Remember back in the days, all it took was an allegation? Legit, right now, bro, I don't give a fuck. Legit, all it took was an allegation. Doesn't matter if it's true, doesn't matter if it's what, right? Brand deals, like companies now are realizing that no, this thing is coming at it because of the cancel culture. Back in the days, how many stories you watched of back in the days where they just somehow you're like, how did you not know this?
Yo, man, there's another one, man.
You're like, how did this?
And it sucks because.
But now in the day and age of social media,
it's even worse.
It's much more impossible to.
But then it even starts sucking now because you have to look at, like, let's look at the elections of the USA of last year, right? If people in America, even minorities, voted for a known racist, Islamophobic, right? And I don't want to make it like a deep thing, but I think online everything can, like, if you have money,
there's a way,
like, you can go on a campaign. There's a way of like even burying even the harshest of realities, because we're all on, oh my god, we're all connected online, or out to say, Marana dog, this guy in real life, this nigga is. That's how usually majority of them get cancelled. They'll start saying, "Nah, man, the way this nigga the other time." You're right. Yeah. Now I'm thinking to myself, it's actually doing the opposite, because now if you get good people, and I've seen it, like, dude, like when you like watch different angles of a certain topic, and you're like, oh my god,
this is madness.
Yeah,
the way you don't know what to believe in
anymore. You're like,
that's what I always say. Like, you become dizzy. You become dizzy. You start realizing, I don't know what's true.
I don't know. Where am I going with this? What is the point?
Because everything just seems like an illusion. And I was telling my wife, I was like, something doesn't make sense to me. So Jiggy, one day we wake up, because I'm thinking, maybe I think geopolitically, around the world, the countries, I don't think we receive enough information in the way we should be receiving this information. Like, I found it, like, maybe it's just me, or maybe I wasn't in tune, but I found it so weird that all of us, like you wake up one morning and then you hear Russia is bombing Ukraine, right? And then obviously niggas will, they'll throw buzzwords, hey NATO, hey these niggas will be, hey.
I think you said this last week.
Yeah, I said this last week as well. And that's where because it focuses on, like, then there's so many other things that keep happening, and you're like, why does it always feel like it's a change of season?
Yeah, so it feels like
tomorrow, now it's dead.
And then another one
pops up, and
another one pops up.
That one, and you're like, you'll even end up coming with, what happened to that other thing? How long Russia?
Let me say
how long Russia and Ukraine still being in war? Niggas were putting flags, now niggas even had to put their flags down.
We even have to, like, Palestine, Israel.
Which one, the Palestine one? Can I be honest with you? Growing up as a Muslim, and I feel like a lot of Muslims may feel the same in South Africa. I'm so shocked that everyone knows about it, and it took so long.
It took long.
Since
Like
the
the
day
way
I was born,
it's like,
and for the time growing up, I always knew this whole thing.
yeah,
And then now, I was like, it's a the barbecue.
and
I'm like,
that's what I'm saying,
that's
dude.
insane. Like
That's
everyone.
I'm saying.
And
I
the
mean,
only
shout out to
reason-
online. Yeah.
The only reason was because Israel was generally the Hamas attacked Israel and everything, and then that's why they started justifying the media.
And then but
because
everyone
there's a point where
people
that's why
look
South Africa.
now.
Let me tell you why South Africa. No, guys, I think the reason why South Africa, and I always say this, why I feel like South Africa is one of the best countries. South Africa, I think the only reason why they even pursued that case is because South Africa has a really strong Islamic foundation. And I don't want to even say just Islamically. It's one of the nations where somehow so many religions are able to live in so much harmony. You like, yes, someone can say something racist and everything, but we are so good at living in that harmony. And I feel like also because a lot of Muslims were able to expand here and be Muslim properly here and invest more, and plus, the Indian guy and go up. So you could put 1, 2, and 2 together. They're only people who could have even put this case ahead. Because there's so many Islamic countries that I even used to say to my friends, that even the people who will talk about, I don't want to say the word because I feel like this thing is just gonna demonetize us. About the extremists. Think about like people who are extremists, right? And I used to say this to myself: why are these people so extreme on the things that don't matter, right? Why can't they? Because Palestine has always been in conversation. I'm like, why don't these I don't want to say their names. We all know these extremists.
What was the saddest thing is that
why
they'll
don't
never
they come
been
together and then go fight?
But the thing is, most of them
people.
people don't get us because it's a perception, right? They are forgetting that your Yemen and a lot of these other countries, they've never been up. Anytime they try to get up, they're destabilized, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people, especially, they don't even understand the saddest thing about Palestine, and it's not even to pick, and you can just do your research, is that they've never been up. For a very long time, they've been struggling.
Yeah.
And even now, everyone... And it's not about... It's like, man, just do your homework. And like, that's what I'm saying. In America, it's about, which... It's so bad, bro, that they had to even create... Shout out to Ground News, you must sponsor us. But like, they even had to create a whole news site to tell you who owns what news publication, which is important, which I think is important.
Yeah.
But now it started saying, oh my God, what the things that I learned via the news and it asks the questions: are journalists doing what they are meant to do? Are they journalists serving a certain agenda of what maybe they believe in? Because now we have to look at different publications.
You read people's opinions.
But they don't now.
No.
It's no more opinions. It's so bad that even when you're trying to look at a movie, depending on who's reporting it, you're going to be biased. And it's a beautiful time to also realize that, oh my word, whatever thing that I consumed will probably give me a perception of this thing, right?
Yeah.
I feel like this conversation is very deep, but I'm going to just pivot and go, right? Let's take superheroes, right? Everyone arguing. A shout out to Nostalgic saying it. Everyone was like, oh my God, the MCU is dead. Oh my God, they're repeating. Do you know one thing all these companies care about? Toys. Merch.
Yeah.
So, when I'm saying the perception, like, look at it, you'll be like, oh my God, why they feel the cracks, it's not necessarily, yes, they've changed, right? It's changed. I think one that they don't even want to talk about in Hollywood as well is that kids are watching stuff more online. Yeah. So they're not bonding over like Superman and Spider-Man.
Yeah, they don't have that time.
And all of the merch. So now you're also, yes, these movies are going to struggle because maybe they don't want to go to the movies like how we wanted to go. Like, I remember watching Transformers. The movie, the first one.
I remember watching Civil War.
And it was amazing.
When Black Panther's first in.
Okay, that nigga was late.
Whoa, nigga, that was great.
That nigga was running. Nigga, that was running, nigga.
Oh, man.
Yo, but do you get my point that especially being online, you need to be like, hey man, you always do your segment. Opinions that no one asked for.
Yeah.
Like, stop. We even spoke about it in the other episode. Stop savior complexes. You know what I'm gonna do? And I'm not gonna be preachy. You know what, dog?
Yeah.
Your homie that you and you guys are treating each other like shit. Maybe start there, you know? Start up with niggas in your crib.
Yeah.
And stop. Yo. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't know me like that,
look at your backyard, my guy.
It's like, dog.
Yeah.
Everyone is always
It's like a fat, what's this thing? A fat fitness trainer. Like, nigga, why don't you start implementing those things first on you before you try to encourage me?
Bruh.
Yeah, and
It's so overwhelming. It's like, dog, hey, man, you don't even know me, dog. That's your bro right there.
You're right.
It's not me being preached. It's like, this is so exhausting. Like,
but you see, the problem with the people you know, they remind you of you. That's why you always want to... That's why you want to...
You're like, no, I can do
I need
better.
to start fresh.
I need to start fresh.
I want to go there and be a whole new person.
And you're like, dog, simple. Like, for example, a lot of things, me, like, you know, even at the crib, we even argue with dad, like, nah, bro, we don't see it like that.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do for each other. Like, oh, dog. You don't want to hear it. But no.
Yeah.
Number one, we all want to go online and say, well, the geopolitics and sound all fancy, right? And not just break it down like, ish. Then you even and then you know one thing you're never going to beat that books don't have, and books maybe don't even do now properly anymore. People's stories. How many niggas are trying to even get into there and ask people stories?
Because the people's stories,
an experience, anything that you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna... and then someone is gonna... Remember, even with us...
But that's what I feel like makes Joe Rogan's podcast nice. Because it's 3 hours, you're allowed to just tell stories.
Yeah, no, after a while...
stories.
I think you can't pretend, like...
Yeah, you can't. More than... Bro, once it is a 2 hour mark, whatever formalities you had when you were thinking, responding...
It's gonna... And you know Joe Rogan, he's very calm.
You know what Joe Rogan also, I feel like he was talking to these niggas for an hour before they even went for the 3 hour thing.
But...
So he has a whole entire...
Yeah, and I get it. And I get it. He also gets under scrutiny because they're like, oh, you endorse Trump. And I'm like, yeah, because people change, man. And that's okay. Right?
Yeah.
He has his it's not about me protecting him. It's like, do you see what I mean? People change. I'm gonna switch off your key ones because it was on. But like the thing is, it's like, yo, dog, just because we're not today, you know, we're all Orlando Pirates at the crib, and then you just decide to break it now. You and your new family, you say Chiefs. I be touched, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't even watch football like that. It's like, hey man, you know, just the same thing as like how my dad just coming saying, hey, you know what, I'm gonna become a Muslim. But the family still starts, people start, they hate the ones who hate, and then we do what? We accommodate. We do the human thing that we always do. We find a way to accommodate. Right? But like, we're never going to live in a perfect world.
But I feel like you say that. I feel like you say that because you grew up in we grew up in a environment where our parents like genuinely said, I ain't gonna lie to you, I never felt pressure to become something or to do something to appease anybody else. Because at the end of the day, my mom always says, don't feel that way. That's in school.
Always reminded you.
In translation, my mom is like, nigga, if you fail, nigga.
Yeah.
Hey, your business. I'm not in school. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's very important. I feel like it sounds like, oh, this parent didn't care. But I feel like it was good for me to know that. Because you know what I mean? If I'm going to keep telling my kid how school is so important and he doesn't know how it's important, let that nigga fail. Let that nigga taste failure.
Because I've noticed, even when you're talking about everything, right? Everyone will be like, this is why the school system fails. And I'm like, bro, let me remind you something, right? I can read, write,
that's pretty much
do math, apparently, yes, stats, do all of that, right? I don't know how it works. This is how it is. I think it's like a gamble. And I'm not saying it's perfect. That's your problem, people. The problem with people is this, utopia. But I guess that's the human thing that we've always been chasing since we've been human beings, right? That everything has to work in a complexity.
It's perfection.
Yeah. I bet you, even in those countries where they do it, they are complaining as well. Like, maybe there's just tweaks, right?
True.
But at the end of the day, I've noticed you know what I also hate about these commentaries / doomsday documentaries that you see on YouTube. Okay, nigga, you gave me all this information. What's your solution?
Yeah, that's how I always say. You know, that's the thing I was telling you. That everything.
Shout out. I like the channel Moon.
Yeah, continue, bro. I know I understand it.
What do you do?
Every time I press Siri, it then stops recording my thing. But anyways,
hey man, don't do.
Yeah, no, I got it on now. Don't worry.
So I like the channel Moon, right? Like I even have one right now, right?
I feel like I watch it. I know what he's doing.
No, but sometimes you have nothing to watch.
Yeah,
and you're like, you know what?
But I know what that nigga's doing.
I'm like, I want to see the world end.
Yeah, I know what he's doing.
Yeah, I know it's like watching a horror movie.
You know what I know in these niggas what he's doing? Because I was, you know what me, like what I would do? Watch, I watch a YouTube video about people in a weird ass place.
Yeah.
You know, like random things. Traveling, just showing you that you think, because you know when you, you know, sometimes you think you're so important. You think you are this, what you see around you, it means something. And you realize there's other people out there doing, like, there's so many, like the world is so big. There's so many different things. How would this one ass nigga juice all these things and put it together and then tells me?
There was one, let me say this. I don't know if you've noticed, right?
But there's some niggas who the world has been ending for them since they were
There's
born.
one that I wanted to like tackle. I was thinking about it today.
Yeah.
Have you seen Zack Efron lately?
Yeah.
And did you see his face?
Yeah.
So remember, the reason why I also, and a lot of channels do it, they try to use him as like, Botox is out of control in the thingy, right? And I don't know, right? But I'm gonna take the man's word for it, right? You know, because the nigga was a handsome guy. There's no way he did that on purpose. So what he says is he was in his crib and he slipped and hit his jaw that he had to go get a surgery, right? And I'm like, me looking like always like body goals and singing Zack Efron changed. I said, there is no way in this diaper a person would take their perfect face and cook up. And I'm like, you can tell that they changed this nigga's jaw, that this nigga had to go to surgery.
Yeah.
And some of it was speculating, no, he was prepping for this movie for A24 when he bulked up and stuff. And I'm like, bruh, trust me, like, I don't think someone can cook up a story of breaking his jaw to go get a whole plastic surgery.
Bro, the thing is, with nowadays, you never know.
But the thing is,
the thing is, you don't lose it. And I tell my wife this something. What is wrong with believing that story?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, who dies?
I don't, because I get plastic surgery is a big thing in Hollywood. But
like, what?
What? And I'm like, dude,
what are you?
The worst part, we were not seeing the guy.
Yeah.
He was gone for like a thing in the thing, and I'm like, why would the guy? And I'm just like,
you know what, I'm just gonna say it how Joey Diaz always says it, man. Stop giving a fuck about who you fucking, what are you doing, man? Go outside, touch some grass, do something. You know, sometimes you think, like when you're thinking about this, you ask me some this niggas.
But what I was saying, the reason why I even mentioned it was because Moon, you did it, everyone done it.
And then it became I know what you're saying.
And I'm like, yo, dog,
like, bro,
there's plenty of what do you call this, examples that were not Zack Efron. And I'm like, yo, don't be doing that to my boy Zack Efron.
Bro, it's attention. Bro. Let's be honest. You have to be honest. Even if once you start seeing numbers, I'll give you an example.
Damn.
You start, let's say this podcast for some reason one day, you randomly get 1,000 views or something, right? But you realize in that video we did a particular thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe you said some controversial stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, like I said, You see, this is the thing that I always do in my life. The reason I want to put myself in this situation is because I don't want to be oblivious that certain things can happen to me. Because again, just like that thing of, it's easy for you to talk and say, why these NBA boys, these the basketball players, and I'm like, well, okay, you were 18 once upon a time. Nigga tells you got $10 million,
bruh.
Just cash straight. When I was 18, I was hoping that my budget fits for the Burger King. Now, imagine now, I'm like, bruh, I can buy Maserati.
Anything.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So
like
why?
Anything. Hey, dude.
How do we conceptualize that?
No, because at the end of the day, let me say this. We enjoy channels like Moon and stuff because it makes us feel better about ourselves. We lie.
Thank you.
We're lying.
Yeah. I think
like let's not act as if, oh yeah, I want my privacy. You're like, maybe you're lying. Maybe you want to know the feeling of
you want to be the feeling of the flesh is like, the light.
Where everyone making you feel like you're like a god.
Yeah.
Nigga, you know what I mean? This is how I know you're not human. You like that recognition. You're just asking you at work for them to say good job, and you think the moment when everyone's kissing your ass. And we're not talking about online comments, because cyberbullying is a different thing. But we're talking about people in real life. Anytime when someone shakes your hand, bro, they want something.
Everybody
right? And then now we all sit and we laugh, right? And be like, this is the problem with Hollywood. And he plays that music. Yes, I say, But anyway, man, let's get into the tweet segment.
Yo, bro. Hey, bro. This part, I always feel like it's not enough time, man.
Hey, man. Nah, man. We'll get there. Who knows, man? Maybe you guys you'll make us make this a full-time job, and this is all we do. Then
it would be so hard to record in the car the entire time, I must say.
Nah, you just take a break. One day, man, we're gonna slut you guys maybe one day with just a live stream, The ones with
That's
you.
what I'm thinking.
Like,
you guys get us to 100 followers on TikTok. Whoever is a TikTok star is watching this, I actually doubt.
But sometimes I also just feel like I think Twitch is still like very small and stuff.
Very small.
I think Instagram, maybe TikTok might be saturated in SA.
But yo, I don't even think it's like that. But look, man, the world is changing, and
we'll see where this goes, man.
All right, Alice, that's the name of the person. The chicken I was defrosting earlier is going back to the fridge. Let's try again tomorrow. And isn't it not healthy to? But I know
dog.
You defrost it and you freeze it.
And you're like, damn, now I thought we were eating Burger King today. Alright, cool, boom. And it's like,
and then you just put it.
My nigga, haven't you felt like you wish we had enough money to get a helper right now? Like, I ain't even gonna cap.
So me and the wife, I'm not gonna lie to you, me and the wife have been talking about it. And I don't wanna disclose, but you can spare like a young, let me say.
No, don't say the price.
It's not. For labor relations.
But like low-key, like now what you're saying is because,
bro, have you seen the size of the apartment of ours?
Dude, I feel
and
sorry
honestly,
for you.
if once there's a kid, I ain't gonna lie to you, there's no ways.
Now the kid, remember.
First of all, I'm even fighting with our landlord to put a place so we can get a dishwasher, bro. Like, this dish is not a thing, man.
So yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Like our parents.
I understand it.
You know what?
But you know what's so crazy? That thing, you knew.
Black parents are so mean.
But you know what's so crazy?
Yes,
I even told the wifey, I was like, when I used to stay at home with mom.
Yeah.
Boy, that chicken, it will be cooked with working and everything. Somehow I found a black. I know in my heart that boy, you're playing around. It's soft life.
Yeah.
This is what you've been praying for, right?
Yeah.
But it's funny as human beings. At home, even that thing would have been cooked. There's no one who's gonna surprise you. It's rare.
You're not here, you have a law. That's what I'm saying. You see, the problem is with black parents, they don't understand. They frustrated us with so many chores. When I told how many dishes. You know how many friends I've always linked up with. You know these white friends and chismos. You know what saved us from washing dishes? going to boarding school. If we didn't go to boarding school, it was going to be an additional 5 years.
Do you know? And I know maybe this is a high reach, and I'm reaching very much. Do you know how I deduce if someone like cleans in their house for themselves? And I know it sounds far-fetched, and what I'm about to say is far-fetched. The indicator of someone packing weights at the gym is an indicator if someone cleans up after themselves or someone cleans for them.
You're right.
I know I'm reaching, but I've noticed that I'm like, nigga, what the hell, man? Put this thing back. Like, what's wrong with you, fam? Because now when I notice it, I'm like, there's no way if you're like every day instinctively just doing like, and you're like, and I ain't gonna say who does it most. They know who they are.
Hey man, I'm not gonna try and act like I'm. Look, I'm not a dirty person. I was raised in a very clean house, but like I'm a human being. Sometimes it's enough. It's enough.
Let's go into the next tweet, man. We're running out of time.
Man. All right, Christopher Farah. I wonder if a dysfunctional public transport system plays into an obsession with cars as a nation. I'm going to read it one more time.
Nah, I heard you.
You heard what you said? I said. Nah, I disagree.
No, I think so.
I don't think so.
No, wait. It works with two ways. Listen. Remember, Vini. Let me ask you this question. And I know, man, God forbid you have to go do it. Do you look forward to going climbing a taxi to get to work?
No.
So it does have a sense of truth to it, depending on the vehicles, right? But mfana, let's not act like having... No, let me ask you a question. We are only recording this podcast because there's a car. If both me and you never had a car, you wouldn't be able to get to any comedy gig. That means it's a dysfunctional what?
Transport system. But now the question is, it says, what he's saying is, plays into our obsession with cars as a nation. My question is, when he uses the word obsession, for me, it kind of changes the thing. Because obsession means that, the way I understand it, like, we buy the BMWs, the Polo GTIs and all of that. But to say that, it requires many of us to have cars, I get it. But obsession means due to this psychologically, we have become so materialistic.
But man, I think it's, For me, it's a nudging. It's a nudging thing. It's a behavioral economic thing. No, I wouldn't say nudging. What's the other word for it? Well, no, it's not this. Let me say this. Where I live, this is what it is. I keep on seeing BMWs. I'm a Mercedes fan. Right?
Yeah.
I keep on seeing them. And I keep on seeing them. If I keep on seeing BMWs, bro, when that check comes, what's the first car that's gonna come in my mind? BMW. So it's like basically like while pumping each other, one gets one, and your brain, there's no way they know, fam.
But the thing is, for me, I just maybe it's because the way I'm reading it. Like I understand what he's saying.
I'm saying
but when he uses obsession,
I get what you're saying, but I'm saying after a while, it's like, yo, dog, it's TSI. You keep on seeing them. Oh, these are nice cars, and then your brain just somehow starts conditioning.
But I feel like it's an obvious. If we remove the obsession thing, what he's saying is obvious.
And then let's read the next one. Quick.
So for me, that's why I'm like, oh, okay. We all know that. We're not in South Korea or any other.
Yeah, we're not in the. We don't have an efficient.
In actual fact, there's a very efficient public transport in Africa, Algeria. Apparently, they have a very efficient public transport. Okay, Lynn. I low-key hate fashionista ass niggas. Get away from me. With your crop tops. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, yo.
I ain't gonna lie. I would like to reserve my comments on this, right? Because, can I be honest with you? There was a time in my life, like, I wear earrings, sometimes I feel it. But we gotta keep it $150. There's some niggas who are just doing, the prints. What is the name for it? There's a term where niggas, whatever.
Yeah, like Prince, yeah.
Like Prince and them. We really need to say, look, that's not fashionista, nigga. You're on that side of fashion.
And you're not talented.
And Young Thug is the same. You know, Young Thug and...
But the thing is, you need to be
talented. Yeah, it has nothing to do...
you know...
but
to
I've
beat the
heard
allegations.
That, you know how many niggas pretend to be artists? Why you only started this? This was a nice topic.
No, bro, we need to remember it, especially when everyone runs away with fashion.
Fashion is the easiest
to run. I'm like, hey, but you know what, guys? We will,
bro. Especially in these ends, blood.
Hey, man, this has been another episode of Third Avenue, and this is your man Hussein
and your boy Vinny.
And please, guys, subscribe and stay tuned for another episode.
Yeah, man.
Peace. Bye.
Peace.